All right, we're going to divide polynomials by a constant or a monomial. So this first example here, we have 15x divided by 3. Just like multiplying, we go numbers by numbers, variables by variables. So 3 goes into 15 5 times. And then we have an x. There's no x on the bottom, we can't cancel anything out, so that x just gets carried down. The next one, we have a binomial dividing by a constant. So we have two terms dividing by one term. You have two options here. What you can do is this question, you can write it out as 8y over 2, so separately, and then you can create a second fraction using that second term, so negative 2 over 6. So that 2 is dividing by everybody. So if you're lazy, you don't want to do that second step, sometimes I just draw like this little heart. We go 8y divided by 2. So 2 goes into 8 4 times. We have that y left over, so we carry it down. And then next we have negative 6 divided by 2. So negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. So what we just did is we divided the first fraction and then the second for our final answer. Now, just like when we were multiplying by polynomials, when we were multiplying by those variables, what actually happened with those exponents is they were adding. So this ended up as x to the exponent of 5. Or if it was y times y, we can give them exponents of 1, and those exponents would add together to give you 2. So y is the exponent of 2. Dividing is similar, but we're not going to add. Instead, we're going to subtract those exponents. So let's say we had x squared on top and an x on the bottom. If I wanted to expand this out, x squared is just x times x. And on the bottom, we have that one x left. If you have the same thing on the top and the bottom, they can cross each other out, so they can cancel out. And we're just left with one x on the top. So x squared divided by x, we're left with 1x. If it was x cubed over x, we have 3 x's on top, and we have 1 on the bottom. So what we have left, once we cancel out what's the same, we have 2 x's on the top. So x cubed, take away an x, is 2. So we're taking those exponents and we're subtracting them. So lastly, one more example of that. X to the exponent of 7 over x to the exponent of 3. We're going to subtract those exponents. 7 take away 3 is 4. So that's x to the exponent of 4. Now let's go back to my examples of dividing polynomials. We have 18 divided by 9, so number by number, which is 2. Y squared divided by y. So we're going to subtract those exponents. That y on the bottom, I can give it the exponent of 1 if I wish. 2 take away 1 is 1. So we're left with 2y. All right, example number 4. We're going to do the terms 1 by 1. So if you want, you can rewrite them out with a space in between. So we have 12 x squared y over 4x. Subtract 8x over 4x. We're rewriting it out so that everybody has their own bottom. I'm just going to move this guy down. Okay, so let's look at the first term, our first fraction. We're going to go number divided by number. So 4 goes into 12 3 times. We have an x squared on top and x on the bottom. 2, take away 1. We have 1 left. And that y, well, there's nobody dividing it, so it just gets left. Then we have a negative sign. 4 goes into 8 2 times. X over x, it's like 1 take away 1. There's no more of them left. So there's no more x's. Here's our final answer. All right, example 5, we're getting harder. So if you would like, you can rewrite out the polynomial so that each of those terms has its own bottom. You use those signs as that little separator. So plus 10kh over 5kh, negative because they use the negative symbol, 20k squared h squared over 5kh. All right, 5 divided by 5, we have a 1. K squared over k, so there's 2 on top, 1 on the bottom, 2 take away 1, we're left with a k. H over h, same as saying 1 take away 1, no more left, so there's no more h's to carry down. Next term, 5 goes into 10, 2 times, k divided by k, they cancel each other out, it's just like 1 take away 1, there's no more left. H over h cancels out, so I can't carry that down. Negative 20 divided by 5. We have the negative, 5 goes into 20 4 times. We have k squared on top, 1 on the bottom, so 2 take away 1. We're left with a k. H squared, take away h, 2 take away 1. We're left with an h. And here is our final answer.